Wish we had some carne.
Oh, see, now it works. Now it works. I know I need some carne. I'd like some food. All right. It is Car Con Carne, still in quarantine Con Carne. I'm James Van Osdell. And before I introduce tonight's guest, the band, I should mention, as business owners are opening back up to serve their communities, they're faced with a lot of challenges as they navigate through the new normal that's brought on by the coronavirus. C&H Financial Services is here to help. C&H offers a variety of products that range from traditional merchant accounts to a zero-cost payment processing solution, which eliminates the expense associated with accepting Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and American Express as a form of customer payment. C&H Financial Services eTab solution is easy to set up for your business for online ordering and curbside pickup. C&H also offers cost-effective commercial lending programs to help get your business the money it needs to make it through these unprecedented times. To learn more, contact C&H Financial Services at 855-600-2437 or go to www.chfs.us. Joining me right now, it is half of the band Black Road. It is Tim and Suzi. Good evening.
Hey there.
Hey.
Suzi, you intimidate me. You are so good on social media. I swear to God, you live on social media. And just before we started this interview, we're texting to say, okay, we're ready. Let's go. And you texted, okay, HSHS. You're using internet acronyms I don't know yet. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means either, if it makes you feel
No, I was trying to type haha and I just messed it up and I went for it.
Okay. Because I'm like Googling it. I'm like, I don't know what this is. What are the kids saying now? It's HSHS. I don't know. Oh, Jesus. I stop.
Urban Dictionary that.
It's an invaluable resource. But you are nice and active. And I think that's part of the Black Road thing. The aesthetic that I like so much is you have a great community built around the band.
I think that we're just like normal ass people. We just play music. And I don't think that there should be like a weird, like untouchable pedestal that, if you want to get to know an artist and we're local and you want to talk to us, totally, please message and I'll talk to you. And I've had random conversations with people from every part of the world. And they're just like, why are you talking to me right now? Why? You don't need to be doing this. I'm like, because you're cool. I don't know. I just like talking to people. So it creates a great opportunity for that.
You are normal ass people. You know what it is? It's being from the Midwest, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
This is kind of a bullshit free part of the country for musicians. I mean, this is a blue collar city. We're the working people. We get it.
Yeah, we literally had to delay this so Tim could work. He had some overtime he wanted to get in there, so we're like, all right, that's that comes before podcasts, unfortunately. But yeah, we're working class people, Midwest through and through, so that's
yeah. I have a 40-hour a week job, so I used to be a mover and a driver, and I had a little bit more freedom as far as like time off. But yeah, I've always had to do something other than music to make
ends meet.
So you're gonna buy something pretty with your overtime?
What's that?
You're gonna buy something pretty with your overtime money?
Dental work.
Yeah, pay off that dental work.
There it is. That's not cheap.
But it looks so nice.
So let's do a little bit of Black Road history. I also want to thank people who are jumping on. Chad says, I'm Googling Black Road now. Mike just joined. Amy, Linda, Jay Douglas, John, the famous Dan Camp, Chris, Stephanie, Chad, all are joining us.
I know him.
He's a local brewer. friend to all.
Yeah, Metal Monkey in the house. That's my employer and my friend and our friends.
Yeah. He's a good dude.
Love him. Yes.
So let's do a little Black Road history. This started back in high school. Is that right?
No. We went to high school together, and we re-met years later, and then we didn't start Black Road till we moved out here to Joliet, which was
2015.
She knows.
I got the dates.
I don't remember. that kind of shit.
Yeah, we moved out to Joliet about almost 6 years ago. Wait, hold on, 5 years. I can't do the math. Okay. Wait, I don't remember. Yeah, it was 2014 and we started Black Road in 2015. Okay, so we had lived here for a few months. There was a local neighborhood joint called the Drunken Donut, and it kind of got us excited to play out, and I got the bug once I sang once in public. I was like, okay, let's do this. So
this is something that started for you 5 years ago, singing?
Yeah, he's been playing music. He played music at our high school. I remember him like putting on like the local band shows there, and I played a little guitar, and our mutual friends played guitar together and stuff. We never hung out, and so he's been in like band stuff since high school, and this is my first.
I started playing guitar when I was 10. So
this is the real talent right here.
I started playing real young. My whole family is super musical. And
yeah,
my mom wanted me to play guitar for as long as I could remember. And my grandpa bought me an acoustic guitar. And a couple of years after that, I actually started learning.
They're so supportive. It's good to have supportive music families.
It is. You know, it's funny. That's a good family. They did the right thing. My son, when he was in middle school, insisted on playing the trombone. I'm like,
nice.
I'm like, the best you're going to be able to do with that as an adult is playing like a New Orleans funeral band or a ska band, like guitar, drums, bass, something. But he was dead set on the trombone. It's sitting in the attic right now. It will never move. It's done. So what I'm saying, Tim, is you were steered in the right direction, clearly. But what's interesting, Susie, is you just started singing 5 years ago. No nerves. You just did it, and you realized this is for me. I'm full speed ahead. It just locked in for you.
Like being a ham that came naturally. So my dad used to always take me to actually blues, like Westchester Fest, Brookfield Fest, all these like Chicago suburbs fests and the street fest that Chicago has. There's so much free music that we would go see, and I would just be over there dancing, by the stage, and everyone thought I was just so like funny. And so I guess I liked that attention that you get from dancing around like a fool to music. So it comes very naturally to me. But the singing thing was like that was something I had to really learn because I sucked bad in the beginning. I still suck, but it's less sucking.
See, that's also Midwestern, the self-deprecation. That's a very Chicago thing to do. I suck. I'm no good. That's so Midwestern. So for people who are just joining us, or people who don't know, stoner rock, doom metal, you cross a lot of barriers and genres. I mean, but I hear the blues in what you do. I hear traditional American rock and roll. I hear a soulfulness in what you do. I mean, it's easy to label you as a stoner rock band or a doom metal band, but I hear a lot more. Well, I'm also, Susie, I'm looking over your right shoulder at the "Sorry We're Stoned" sign.
That's from our record label, the new label that's doing our requests. Yeah, I mean, we're not trying to hide it. Thank God it's legal now, so people finally are getting on board with us not being like complete wastoids or whatever the bad image used to be for people that choose to medicate like we do. And obviously it's recreational and fun, but yeah, it's I don't know, some Sabbath worship riff rock, just whatever feels good. Basically blues based, totally.
I do have the first Sabbath album ready to go for when we're done.
Very nice.
I remember hearing Sabbath for the first time on my uncle's turntable. He was playing We Sold Our Souls for Rock and Roll, and this was like I was like 6 years old. This is actually one of the earliest memories I can remember, and I just remember loving it. I didn't know what the hell I was hearing, but I just loved it. And
what is this sorcery?
Before I knew I wanted to play guitar, I knew after hearing Black Sabbath that I wanted to do something with music. Music just seemed like that's all that mattered, and that all stemmed from hearing Sabbath for the first time.
I realize this interview is about you, but just to stay on Sabbath for 1 second, it amazes me. Speaking of that first album, the song Black Sabbath, just how dark and sinister it still sounds to modern ears. I mean, I can't even imagine back when that first came out, how shocking that was, but it still is creepy and unsettling, and just this masterpiece work of music. Again, we're talking about Black Road, but we went down the Sabbath path, and I just wanted to get that off my chest.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, there's something about that song that's definitely timeless, and it inspired a million other like triad riffs that everyone's like, I must sound as evil as that, Sabbath. It's not gonna happen. They did it. They did everything first. So we're just like, all of the great people that came before us were just a product of, very vast musical tastes, and whatever comes out of us, I'm not sure. We're not really trying to sound any particular way. So that's probably why it's like stoner rock and doom and hard rock and blues. And so it's all that stuff.
I definitely wanted to have a heavy band, because I was taking a break from playing metal for a couple of years, and I was just playing like acoustic stuff. And I did that for a few years straight. So
he's very good at that, by the way.
I really wanted to get back into playing heavy stuff, and, but we still like to kind of try to be, progressive and have like soulful parts and things like that.
On the Facebook Live, Giorgio just checked in and said, "Hell yeah, I'll smoke to this." You're not even playing music, and he's just like, "Oh man, Black Road's here. I got to get high to them." Just their presence.
Well, hey, that is freaking cool. I want to be that guy's friend. He should definitely. Oh, look, our drummer Robert Gonzalez. He's up in the chat. I just noticed.
Yeah,
Tim
and he
loves
says,
Tony Iommi.
And he also said Black Road is carrying on the tradition of heavy rock and roll. Do you think he feels left out that he's not being interviewed? Like, if he was on the screen right now, that's what he would have said. Like,
Robert, join the chat.
I don't know.
I feel bad. Like, he's on the outside looking in. Like,
download Zoom, Robert, real quick. Get in on this.
I'm a member of the band. So you've had a busy, all things considered, you've had some stuff going on. New bass guitarist, and Witch of the Future getting a new vinyl pressing.
Yeah, that was awesome that we could do that, because we are running low.
Ooh.
We've got like 2 copies left. They're both already reserved for our friends who took part in actually taking photos that we used for the insert. But yeah, we ran out of copies, and now they're going to do another 250 copies. And so hopefully everyone that missed out can get another one. But 2020 has been weird.
That was my next question.
Shows.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are you holding up okay?
Oh yeah, we're good. It's just, it sucks to not play out. Yeah. That's the most fun part of it all for me, is to play live. Making records is cool, but it's not the same.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not the same as when you're playing at a show,
It's everything. It's the load in. It's the, seeing the familiar faces. It's the beers backstage, the beers as you're watching the opening band. It's all that stuff.
It's the whole experience. And you get used to that, and then it's just stops in its tracks.
Yeah, it stopped so suddenly. Our last show was at Metal Monkey. We had no idea it was gonna be our last show. We were gearing up for another one, and then bam, Rona hit, and they canceled everything. And but in that meantime, when everyone was quarantined, I decided I looked over at my little home studio, and I was like, well, I got all this stuff. So I up and wrote a crap ton of songs. Tim and I got in there together. We laid down all kinds of stuff that we'd been talking about or thinking about. So I honestly found that this time, the way that everyone in the world's like energy seemed to be kind of chill and on pause, and everyone was enjoying the free time. And I was really productive during all of that somehow. I don't even know. So yeah, we've got new songs in the works. I've got a solo project coming out. We have the repress. We got a new bassist. So Black Road is not stopping.
Which is good. And there's no blueprint for how to navigate through this, right? The pandemic it affects people in different ways. I mean, I go through a range of emotions sometimes within the hour. I mean, it's weird how it affects people. And when you're sheltering in place and you're doing the same thing for 14 weeks at a time. But I do think that for an artist to be able to kind of push past that and be creative in this time, it's going to be so important. And along those lines, I've been saying this for a while. I really believe that we are about to hit a music video renaissance because no one can play out. And I think the opportunity is there for artists to really express themselves visually. And I feel like Black Road already has a leg up because your videos are so fucking cool.
Thank you to Don and Liza for the videos. Yeah, we've had the same person, aside from the ones I made myself, help us with every single video. Whenever you see like full Black Road filmed doing something, that's all because of two people, and they do all our videos. So we need to make some more songs because we've got damn near videos for almost every song except the 3.
Yeah.
We need to write more songs.
I definitely like your visual aesthetic. And I think being a band, being a musician, it's everything. It's the songs you write, it's the stuff you do on stage, and it's also how you look and that vibe you put out there. I look at the artwork that you do and the videos. And I mean, I see like 70s Italian horror popping out of what you do. Just the imagery. I love it. I think it's great. And I think there's definitely an effort to put forth a certain image of the band. Fair to say?
Yeah. We like me and Don always kind of go for a horror theme with every video.
That's our director and filmer guy.
Yeah. I grew up on horror movies. I love horror movies.
This is where I was hoping this conversation would go.
He's Italian.
I was just having a conversation earlier today. I was just for the first time ever, believe it or not, I saw Rosemary's Baby, and I love horror.
Oh my God.
But it's one of those things, like I have a hard time going back to really old stuff. I have a hard time watching older movies for whatever reason. It's just me. I can't believe how good that movie still is. Like
that's an interesting.
I haven't seen that in forever.
Yeah, I had thought about that movie in forever, but yeah, some of the old horror it will stand the test of time. Like, didn't you recently get all the classic horror, like the Karloff movies and
I got all the Frankensteins. We watched them all.
I can't.
I think they're kind of funny, but I enjoy them.
I think Tim and I are destined to be best friends. I can't get over just how weird Bride of Frankenstein is.
It is. I love when I was a kid, I loved the part with the little people in the jars.
Right. It's insanity.
I always loved that shit. Yeah. Those movies are nuts.
All right. So Tim, what's your favorite horror movie?
That's hard to say. Might be Frankenstein. I still love the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre too.
Snap!
I saw that movie when I was really, really young, and my parents found out later. They were pissed about it, and but yeah, that movie was scary as fuck as a little kid.
It still is. It's still profoundly unsettling.
Yeah, just I had never seen a horror movie like that. Being that young, like I'd watch all those old ones with my mom and stuff, all the Bela Lugosi, all that old stuff, and I slept over at a friend's house and we watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I'm seeing human face.
Yeah, those were humans.
Yeah, lampshades and shit, and it was crazy to see.
Oh my God, I remember those sleepovers. Like you'd go to your friends and you'd get like Faces of Death on VHS.
Oh, my dad used to let me rent those as a child. I had no limit on the account to rent movies. I was getting all the horrible NC-17 like.
And when you're a kid, you think that everything you see in Faces of Death is legit. You think like,
I
oh my God, I'm watching a snuff
real.
movie.
I thought it was for freaking real.
I thought it was real.
I'm pretty sure my dad told me it was real, though. Maybe he thought it was real.
Well, it got debunked later.
Yeah.
Oh, so he probably really did believe it too.
Yeah.
All right, your drummer says that his favorite horror movie is John Carpenter's The Thing.
Ooh.
It's a masterpiece. That is a masterpiece.
I like really lame movies like Cat's Eye by Stephen King or like Creepshow. So there's always like some kind of like weird camp or slapstick thing. I don't know. I'm weird. I have a comedic. Everything to me is funny, except really sad things.
So let's talk a little bit. Last year was Witch of the Future, new vinyl pressing of that. Did we say when that's available?
No, actually, we didn't get the pre-order date yet, but when it does come out, we're going to be announcing it all over, me and my social media shouting. But I will let you know as soon as that is available, and it should be very soon. I'm hoping really soon, any day.
So Susie, where do lyrics come from for you? What inspires you?
Well, recently it's been all the time off I've had and a lot of time to think. But usually if I can't think of something, I'll ask Tim, like, what's a cool idea or what's something that I should write about. And I kind of, I just find inspiration in all kinds of weird places. Sometimes you're just watching a movie and you're like, oh my God. And you like have to pause it and just start writing stuff down. So I think I'm pretty good at snowballing. I can like write a paper off like, 2 sentences. And I'm like, oh, I'll write you a paper about that. No problem. So gift of the gab, I guess.
Do the two of you ever butt heads creatively? I'm sure you do, but is it ever extreme?
No.
I just get annoyed like tracking in the studio, quote unquote. And that's just, just regular annoyances, but we don't ever butt heads. And I don't think we've ever really even had a musical disagreement.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
But that's a rare and wonderful thing, to be totally in lockstep with one another creatively.
Yeah, I kind of could tell that we had a lot in common, and from our friends and stuff from high school, it was just weird that we had never spoken. So our musical tastes were pretty damn similar too. Once we did get down to it.
Yeah, yeah.
How would you say? Oh, go ahead, Tim.
I was gonna say we re-met at a concert.
Oh yeah, Rocky Erickson. So.
Oh, that's cool.
We pretty much already knew her. Like, oh, you're cool.
That's cool. How would you describe coming up over the past 5 years through the Chicago scene? Because back in the day, it was really hard for heavier bands to crack the city clubs. They're always booked at the suburban clubs. It was really hard to get into rooms downtown and north. Seems like that has loosened up considerably, especially as you've made it through. So how would you describe your relationship with the city as a music town and as a breeding ground?
It's been great to us, and everybody who promoters and everything, they've all been great to us. We haven't really had any bad experiences or anything like that. Every venue we play, it's great.
Well, we've avoided the weird ones that we've heard about, but it was like sort of, I'm from the industry of restaurants and bars in Chicago. So when I moved out of the city, it was almost like I was saying goodbye to a huge part of my life. So once we started wanting to play out and stuff, I already like knew what bars and stuff that we should go for. And I would ask to other bands in the area. And Chicago was really welcoming. We got offered to play Reggie's about 2 years after we were a band. And that was because, like you said, I'm like all over social media. So I think that that's a huge, if we didn't have Facebook, I really don't know how we would go about it. Obviously I'd have to just show up places with like demos, all annoying, and try and catch the right person. So thank God for Facebook. That's all I can say. Holy cow.
Well, it depends on the day, but yeah, sure. Thanks. Thank God for Facebook.
Oh yeah. Not recently.
Not recently. Can I let you both in on a secret?
Yeah.
I am high as fuck right now. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so I'm kidding. Black Road, where do we hear more from you?
Bandcamp videos, Bandcamp, if you like merch and music.
Spotify. We're on all the music
streaming stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you're on a great trajectory. I cannot wait to see what you do and hear what you do moving forward. And definitely let us know when you have that pre-sale date for the vinyl. Awesome. Well, I'm going to stop the Facebook Live. Thank you, everybody who's been watching there. Super cool. It's weird. I usually do these earlier. Maybe I should do these later at night. I think they're better attended later at night. I think I've learned something.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you very much for compromising with us on the time. And sorry it ran late. And thank you for actually adding me as a friend, just because I was like, hey, I heard you at Q101 back in the day. So that's really cool.
See, it all worked out.
Yeah.